Hello and welcome to KHM Today, your weekly go-to resource for industry news and straight up fun. My name is Carolyn Orff and I am your host, and it is so fantastic to be here with you on this last week of March. I can't believe we've already made it through. This is our 13th week of shows. We've had so much fun bringing you content every week. Today, I'm excited to welcome Delta Vacations. Travel Leaders Network is here to talk to us about Agent Profiler. I know several of you on today are super excited about that. Tim Smith is back with another sales tip, and we have one of our favorites, Matt Wahlgren with Matt's Compass. We want the show to continue to be a source of information and fun for all of you. So I'm going to ask a favor today. In that question box, if you can type in something you'd love to see, a person you'd love to hear from, content that's really important to you, please go ahead and put it in that box. This will give us a good source of information and a little bit of guidance as we move into Q2 and planning for shows for April, May, and June. So please do that. We love your feedback. And as always, we want to provide a show that's valuable and maybe even give you a good laugh. So thanks for your thoughts there. Last week, we did mention that you do need to register again for the second quarter of shows. Our producer, Sam, is putting that link in the chat box. If you want to copy and paste that so you can go ahead and register for the next bunch, that would be fantastic. Gosh, today I feel like a high school principal rattling off the announcements. But we're done with those. We're ready to have fun. Chantelle is enjoying some time off in Las Vegas, but she is coming to us live from Vegas, baby. Welcome, Chantelle Nye from the KHM Travel Group education team. Chantelle, welcome. Thanks for joining us on your vacation.
Where is my mouse? Hello. Can you see me?
You'll find it. We just saw her.
Can you see me?
Sunny Las Vegas.
Why can't I? Oh no, I can't turn on my webcam. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh wait, here it is. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Yay!
Can you see me now?
We can see you.
Okay. So I am at Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area. I am a team player. I will always take one for the team. So we thought this would be fun to do this on location. What do you think?
How's
the picture?
It's fantastic. We love seeing the blue skies.
All right, perfect. So here we go with headlines. So first we want to start out with saying Mike Going, an industry, a well-renowned industry executive, friend, loved one, has passed away. And we here at KHM would like to send out our sincerest condolences to his family, his friends. He and Terry Morrison and Ken Pomerantz have become like family to KHM. And Mike, you will be missed. We love you, and anything that we can do for you and your family, we are here. So we want to say we are very, very sorry for the loss of Mike Going. Our next headlines. Universal Studios Hollywood is slated to open April 16th. Now, this is just for California residents. So no one else at this time, but this is a good start, right? They're slowly starting to open things. So we are excited to hear about that. That was in Travel Weekly and the Insider Travel Report as well. So I wanted to bring you some information from Las Vegas, Nevada, since I'm out here. If you don't know this, many of the national parks have timed reservation systems now, and Red Rock is one of them. So you will go on the website and you'll actually create a login and an account. And as you do that, then it will ask you how many people are going to be in your car, how many vehicles, and it will give you times on when you can do that. and they will do that each day. So just be aware for your clients who are traveling this summer, make sure that if they are going to a national park, to get them to go on that website and double check if reservations are needed. The trails are open. The drive-through scenic drive is open, but the visitor center is not open. And Sloan Canyon visitor contact station is not open, but the trails are open. So just be aware of this as, you know, things are starting to open up a little bit. Virgin Hotel opened actually the day before I got here, March 25th. Adult only. It was a $200 million renovation to the original Hard Rock Hotel. Can you imagine? I wish I would have gotten to see it. I didn't plan anything while I'm here, but I did get to stay at Circa, the brand new hotel on Fremont Street, and Dustin Personas, who is lead development manager, was able to take myself and Ashley De La Garza, and we did a site inspection at Circa, and we did the D and the Gateway Hotel as well. Did you know the Gateway is the oldest hotel in Las Vegas? And the first one to ever have a telephone. Guess what the telephone number was?
555-1212.
Number 1. That's it. So at the Gateway, they have this display of all historic things from old Las Vegas, and the original telephone is there. The books when people would come in, that they would take their name, and yes, the first number was the number 1. Another thing to know about Las Vegas as well, I'm just going to go over some new information. Vegas is opening. They're up to 50%, which is fantastic. They have added 40 new shows. Reservations are really a must to go to dinner. You can't just walk up and walk in and get reservations. So please make your clients well aware of that. If they need to think ahead on things like this. Fast food's different. But if they want to go to a very nice restaurant, obviously shows you're going to make reservations for. Masks are worn all throughout when you're walking around, throughout the casinos, when you're gaming. You take them off when you eat or drink. And it's very interesting. We went to Bellagio the other day, and the stores like at Caesars and the Forum and the shops, the higher end, can only allow so many people in the stores. So you have to wait in line if you want to go into Chanel or Fendi or whatever you want to go into. So it's, you know, it is coming back, and it's great to see the Strip busy and bustling with people. Just know that there still is health and safety protocol out here, and it's really the only way they're going to be able to come back full.
Chantelle, did you witness any on the Strip? Did anything completely shut down that you noticed?
I really haven't been down there on the Strip the whole lot to see. I know there were some things that were shut down on Fremont Street that were slated to start opening again, because they're trying to get that Fremont experience back, but they don't have the concerts going or anything like that. But our friends that we're staying with, you know, they did say at the height of COVID, there was no one on the streets. It was the most eerie feeling ever to drive around. But the lights are on, the arenas are open, the games are starting, and let's just pray that we just keep going up and up from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your vacation to show us such beautiful scenery. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
I love it. See, we're totally dedicated to this show, you guys. We'll take you anywhere. I am excited to welcome back Tim Smith. He is our sales guru here at KHM Travel Group. He's got another great tip for us this week. He'll join us in just a second. Welcome, Tim.
Hey there, how you doing?
Good, good. So many of us have seen an uptick in sales, which is so refreshing and encouraging. Sales can be somewhat intimidating, though. So you have some tips today on how to start a conversation with anyone, anywhere, at any time. What do you have for us?
Oh, that was great. I didn't know if you'd get all three of those in there, but you did.
Absolutely.
You've been listening. First of all, it was fun. It was fun seeing Chantelle. I kept waiting for a stagecoach to go by, and then with those sunglasses, you kind of look like a movie star broadcast.
She did. She did.
So anyway, I've been using this formula that I have for about 30 years, and it's really how to start up a conversation with anybody, anywhere, anytime, just like you had just said. If you have good form, you'll be able to do this. And a lot of people go, well, I go to a party and I don't know how to talk to somebody. I kind of stay over in the corner. Maybe somebody starts talking to me, and I'm like, no. You got to get out there and you got to meet people. But how in the world do you get the conversation started? Well, what I do is I use FORM, and it stands for FORM. And I have about a half-hour seminar on this, but today I'm just going to really quickly hit the highlights so you can hear some of the other exciting things that are going on. But each letter stands for something. So the first thing is maybe you're standing in the line at a supermarket or something like that, and there's somebody in front of you. Well, the F is for family. And, so there's a lady there and she's got a cute little boy. And so you say something about her cute little boy and, oh, do you have any other kids? Well, pretty soon you're talking kids and family and all that kind of stuff. And people love talking about their family, and bragging about their family. So you start to gather a little bit of information about the person that way. And then the O is for occupation. Oh, by the way, what do you do for a living? And so you start talking to that. Oh God, people talk about their job and what they do and how important they are forever and ever and ever, right? So then you get into R, which is recreation, which is like, well, what do you do for fun? Do you go skiing? Do you, golf? What do you like to do? Well, that starts a whole another conversation, that you can get into. And of course, then there's the R, and I use that, the M at the M is message. Oh, by the way, when we were talking, you talked about, a trip that you took. Did you know that I was a travel agency? And you whip out that car and say, I could help you with your next trip. And so if you have good form, you can really get a conversation started with anybody. And I go into a little bit more deeper into my webinar. And while I was talking, I was thinking, well, there's form. Well, then there's also format, okay? And so I added on an A, which is automobiles. So you could start to talk to a guy and, they'll talk about automobiles forever. And then the T could be travel. So if you have good format, you could also talk to anybody about anything forever and ever. And so that's a couple of quick ideas of how to get a conversation started with people and find out a little bit about them. So that's my tip for today.
That's amazing, because I will tell you, most people don't believe me when I say I am an extroverted introvert. I don't love going places where I am not going to know people. It's very hard for me to walk into a room that is going to be full of people that I don't know and strike up a conversation. So these are great tips, helps you get out of your shell a little bit.
You know what I call a room full of people?
What?
A target-rich environment. But if you have the form, if you have that in your head, and of course you don't have to do it in that order, but it gives you just like a little clue of what to do next. If the conversation slows down a little bit, boom, then just hop to the next letter.
That's awesome. Tim, thank you so much. Always wonderful tips. If you're part of KHM Travel Group, go ahead and look in the portal calendar for Tim's next sales animal webinar. Thank you.
All right. See you, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
I am very excited to welcome our next guest. Delta Vacations is one of our favorite partners in the industry. Please welcome Kristen Molloy, Vice President Sales for Delta Vacations. Hi, Kristen.
Hey, Carolyn. First of all, I have to say, I loved Tim's tips, and as he's talking about his app, I'm looking at a beautiful sun, I think it is, behind you. So I'm ready to start a conversation with a form or a format with you, whichever you prefer.
Yes. Well, and you're probably in many situations in your role where you are walking into a room of people that you don't always know, and someone has to be the first one to say, hi, I'm Kristen. Hi, I'm Carolyn. Tell me about yourself. It is very, very hard for me. Do you find that challenging?
It's very funny that the two of us are sitting here today because I think we're both extroverted introverts. What you said spoke to me very, very clearly. I love meeting people, but yes, that first step, it's always good to have some more tricks. So I appreciate Tim for sharing that with us. I'm going to keep
Yes.
format in my head because
Yes,
automobile
exactly.
and especially the T for travel are so important.
Absolutely. Well, this is the first time we've met before on screen. We had a lovely conversation about a week ago. Do you mind doing a lightning round of questions with us to help us get to know you better?
I would love to do that, Carolyn. Thank you.
All right. All right. Ready?
I took
What
some,
color
I
is
had a
your-
little bit of tea before this so that my brain's ready for your questions.
All right. What color is your toothbrush?
It's actually white.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
I would be a dog. I would actually specifically be my husband's dog because they're very spoiled.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Wonder Woman.
What is your favorite summer activity?
I love lying by the side of a pool with a cool drink in my hand. I think
Yes.
nothing screams summer more than that.
Absolutely. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be and who would play you?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say, wow, this one's hard. I'm gonna say it would be kind of a, well, let's go sci-fi and Alf will play me. How about that?
Ooh, I love it. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Right now, I'd love to see my dad, and I've got a trip coming up to see him. He's actually in Cincinnati, so I'm going up to see him this weekend. It's the first time that we've been able to be together since Christmas 2019, so
Oh my
looking forward to
gosh.
seeing him.
Oh my gosh.
He just finished
Do you,
vaccinations and his quarantine period, so there will be tears, but good ones.
perfect. What is it? Do you have a weird quirk?
Oh, I probably have lots of weird quirks. You'd almost have to ask my team.
What is your favorite movie quote?
It ain't over till it's over.
Perfect. So mine is actually Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite? When he answers the phone and says, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? I could say that all day long and it puts a smile on my face. Can you imagine if all the call centers answered the phone, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? The smiles we would have across the board
Absolutely
would be amazing. So, well, thank you for being a good sport. You're actually the first industry
absolutely.
partner we've done lightning rounds with.
Oh, well, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
So it is so natural for us to speak about the challenges we faced in the last year. But I'd love to know some of the positive things that have come out of being quarantined and kind of some of the challenges that we have faced. How have those transferred into something positive within your work life and home life?
Within our work life and our home life, I think that we've all found out really truly what's important to us and what we need to focus on first. And they're very different answers for both your home life and your professional career. But I think we've found through this, I like to call it the great pause, what our true purpose is, what our true loves are, and what we need to put forward first for each individual person. For me, that passion professionally lies with our clients and with our team. Those are the two most important things for me, and really making true and authentic connections and being there to listen, because we're all going through so much right now. What KHM agents and the agency population in general, how you have stood by us this last year is humbling, and we are just so honored by the way you've stood by us through this, and we're just looking forward to when we can take all these lessons we've learned but be together again and have hugs and meet people. I think we've all missed that human connection.
Absolutely. So communicating with our clients has been key. Not only keeping them informed of protocols, but also making sure that they know that we're still in business, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's the number one marketing fail, right? When you don't let clients know that you're out there and you're available to them. So has communication changed within the organization? I know we've had a couple of other people in your industry and at your level where they've said, I've never spoken to my team more face to face because we're not doing it quickly through email and text because everyone's on the road.
Absolutely. I think the face-to-face communication, until we can get back to being in person, is so important. And I've never spent more time one-on-one together with my team. And then virtual sales calls, they're so important. What we used to be able to do in a phone call is just exponentially greater when you have that face-to-face communication and that ability. I was joking with someone just the other day. I said, I forget how to talk on the phone without seeing somebody's face. I keep talking over them because I can't read those visual cues that they're done.
Yes.
So the technology has really changed and evolved the way we communicate and the way we keep in touch with our clients and each other.
Do you see yourself moving forward where maybe you're not on the road so much and you're doing more of this?
I think it's going to be a hybrid for a time. I think that everyone's going to hit their comfort level at a different point, and we want to be very, very respectful of that. But I do see in the future going back to that same kind of level of traveling, because that face-to-face interaction, that face-to-face communication, nothing beats that. And as wonderful as this is, it would be even better if we were sitting together with a nice lunch and a glass of wine each.
Exactly. So Delta has been one of our favorite partners for the last year.
Thank you. That's
least,
the biggest compliment we can get.
Yes, at least for KHM agents that are on this call today, we heard nothing but amazing things for the first, year of the pandemic about the answering of phone calls, the flexibility of policies, the kindness of agents on the other line, the knowledge of agents at the other end of the line. And recently we've gotten a little bit of feedback about longer hold times. Do you mind addressing that and sharing with agents what it's going to look like moving forward?
Absolutely, Carolyn, and I appreciate you bringing this up. I just want to assure everybody on the phone and on the webinar today that we're in a unique moment in time. The Delta vacations you knew before and the Delta vacations of the future are not who we are right now. Our team had an exceptional opportunity to take place in to participate in the Delta Early Out programs over the summer. So we had a huge amount of people that did take that early out program. It was truly a once in a career opportunity, and we're grateful for them that they took that sacrifice and accepted the offers. But we find ourselves in a period where the return to normal is actually coming quicker than I think anyone within the industry could have anticipated. So we are working extensively on getting more agents trained, getting more people on the floor, making sure people throughout the company are supporting our call center employees so that they can answer the phones. I even process cancellations and vouchers when I have a spare hour just to take some of that workload off of our CEC colleagues. So it truly is an all hands on deck philosophy that we have here. Service is absolutely key to who we are at Delta Vacation. So please know, we know when operations don't work, nothing works. So our key focus is on the operations. But one stat that I'm seriously proud of, and it's the company we're very, very proud of, even during this time right now, where we have people holding for times that we would have never, ever seen as acceptable in the past, when they get through, the percentage of people rating our call center employees as a 5 out of 5 is so high. We're at a plus 92 net promoter score. So even after a long hold time, once you get through to our agents, you're going to get the care, the service, and the experience that you know from Delta Vacations. So I truly just want to say to everyone, thanks for bearing with us during this time. It is definitely a time of growing pains for us and for the industry. And we promise you that the Delta Vacations you knew before will be the Delta Vacations of the future.
Well, and the honesty is not refreshing, because that makes it sound like no one's been honest before, but it's just the honesty is just so important right now. We have to own it, right? Just like we have to own it with our clients. When something doesn't go right, or we've gotten a policy wrong, or we just have to own it, explain it, and work to move forward. So thank you for that. I think that's really important for agents to know that, a blind eye isn't being turned.
No.
We're working through these things slowly but surely.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I wish I could say when it's going to flip, but we're getting really close to it. With people, though, it's very important that we go through all the right processes and make sure the right people are answering the phones to help each of you out for your bookings. So we've sped up what our training schedule is, but it's not going to be anything that you're going to get somebody who doesn't know what's going on. We know that the quality of the agent on the other end is as important as fixing our hold times.
That's awesome. And one more question for you before I let you go. I have definitely seen personally in my business in the last 3-4 weeks where there is an increased confidence in people willing to travel and do it more so than just domestically.
Yes.
For agents that are a little bit nervous about selling right now because protocols are changing and we're not quite sure how things are going to move forward. Especially when we look at hotels in Mexico and the Caribbean, a lot of their websites are saying, well, we're offering the testing for free, but the deadline is actually today for that. What are your suggestions for agents moving forward to kind of keep that confidence going, not only within themselves, but also with clients?
Absolutely. Well, I would recommend within World Agent Direct, our booking engine, we clearly specify, and it's really, really easy to read, what hotels, if the COVID testing is included or at an additional cost. And we also have a really simple repository that lists for every destination our key hotel partners, so you can get all of the details, not only on if COVID testing is available, but what their quarantine policy is it free, is it a reduced cost? So all that information is right at your fingertips. And we also link out to the Delta database that talks about all the different restrictions for different countries and then also for coming back into the US. So that's continuously updated. Truly, we've worked hard because we know how challenging these times are. Our sales calls length have gotten longer because people do have so many more questions. And it's not a simple sell these days, but it was very important to us. Travel agents are the heart and soul of what we do, that we give those tools right at the fingertips. So you don't need to leave the booking path. You don't need to leave our engine to get the answers to your clients' questions.
I love that term, key hotel partners. I think we all need to create our list of key hotel partners so that
Yes.
we get to know them. We know their protocols. Perhaps we have someone on site that responds to our emails quickly. We don't always, and especially now, need to sell this. We can sell this. And if you know that well, that's attractive to clients. So
Fantastic.
thank you so much for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we'll get you on again in the future.
Oh, absolutely, Carolyn. And just one more time, thank you to everyone at KHM. You guys are doing an amazing job, and thanks for having our back this last year.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. Take care.
You too.
Guys, I love when we are able to have one-on-one conversations with those industry leaders who have an opportunity to hear what we're saying and make change within their organizations. It's so important, and I hope that you're all recognizing through this show that positive change is coming. So thank you, Kristen and Delta Vacations, for your unwavering support over the last year. Next up is one of my favorites. Matt Wahlgren is here with Matt's Compass. Yay! Now you're all going to notice Matt has a different background because he's now a prominent resident of the city of Dallas, Texas. Oh, we can't hear you. Someone muted
hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, I moved to a little town outside of Dallas. Some of you might have heard it. There's a show based on it, actually. It's called King of the Hill, and it's based on Garland, Texas, where I live. It's a really funny show, and it's kind of true when I'm looking around and stuff. We've been here about a week and a half. We're settling in. It's starting to feel a little bit like home, but I have to say, I do miss Puerto Vallarta. This is the first time I've worn a sweater in I don't know how long.
Well, you know that our agents always love to have feet on the ground and someone who's been able to visit lots of hotels. You were so lucky to be able to be there for several months and visit so many different properties. And agents love that feedback personal feedback if they can't get it themselves. So you've brought us 3 hotels today in the Puerto Vallarta area that you just loved.
Yeah, these 3, it was tough because there's a lot of nice, I focused really on the all-inclusive resorts, and there's a lot of nice ones out there, and just picking 3 was a little tough, but these were the ones that stood out just a little bit more to me than the others that I thought were just a little bit special and that I had personal memorable moments of. And the first one, let's go all the way to Punta de Mita. That's kind of an up-and-coming tourist sort of area for people who want a little more seclusion. It's about 30 minutes from the airport. It's actually in a different state than Puerto Vallarta is. It's in Nayarit. But you go up there, it's really nice, white sand beach, secluded, long stretches of beach. Now, this particular resort, Imanta, that's I-M-A-N-T-A, but Imanta was really unique. We were just really wow. Now, it's not for everybody, but if you have the right kind of client and that they're looking for something different, this is for them. It's got a little bit more of a secluded beach than the other resorts in Punta de Mita. It's very immersive in the nature, in the jungle, so much so that the owner, when the employees came to them and said, hey, this jungle is overgrowing this ocean view room, should we cut it or what do you want to do? He's like, no, we can't touch the jungle, let the jungle be. We want to be one with nature. We're just building new ocean view rooms instead. So I just thought that was really unique and interesting. The spa is outdoors. The food is really good. The rooms are just so different, and it only sleeps 30 people. So it's really all about seclusion. So if someone wants to just be out there and away from a lot of people, that's the choice for them. You might recommend it to a honeymoon couple, maybe just 3 nights. Hey, spend your first 3 nights there. You just got married, decompress, relax, and then I'm going to put you in one of the bigger resorts for the rest of your stay. So that's my first.
And this is all inclusive.
It is all inclusive.
Okay.
Yeah. Go online and check out the website. You'll know right away that this is something different, something unique for that client who's looking for something different.
Perfect.
And then the second one is in Nueva Vallarta. So it's a little bit south of Punta de Mita and closer to the airport. It's still in the state of Nayarit. I really liked it because of several things. The service was great. The food and cocktails and everything were amazing. It's not a 5-diamond resort. I feel like it should be. I think the only reason why it's not is because of some design elements, but everything else about it feels 5-diamond. It does have beachfront access. The one downside is there's some properties in front of the hotel, and for that reason, they don't have, true oceanfront rooms. So what they did instead, and I thought this was really clever and unique, is they created several villas. And these villas are awesome. So this is for families. And if you've got a big family and you all want to stay in the same place, they've got ones that have 3 bedrooms, rooftop access, a backyard with a pool. So I thought that was really unique and cool. And also the spa is amazing. It's the most amazing spa I've ever seen at any resort. They have 9 different spa rooms that represent 9 different countries and therapeutic treatment. So you can go to Thailand. I did Italy. I think I told you about that, or we talked about that somewhere on another show, because I was missing Italy. But they have India, Russia, all these different ones, and you go in these rooms and it just feels like you're there, and the treatments are really incredible, and they serve you food and drinks related to that country while you're getting your treatment. So I thought that was a wonderful property for families.
And Matt, this is different from Marvel Luxury Residences, and was it the Marvel Suites? Was the other one the family friendly?
Harmony. Yeah, so there's Marvel Harmony. That's their newest one. That's in Punta de Mita. That's really nice too. And it's newer than Distinct. And then Distinct, I think, is part of Luxury Residences. And then what's the other one? I'm drawing a blank. There's another one that's a little bit closer to Puerto Vallarta. That one's their older one. It's not as nice, and it doesn't have the spa. That one is more focused on family and has more family activities, while the other 2, Marvel Distinct and Marvel Harmony, are for families as well, but it's a more elevated experience. It's not going to have all those day programs as much as that. The Maui,
Okay.
I can't draw a blank on what it is, but you guys can look it up. There's only 3 in Puerto Vallarta.
Perfect. And then our final property.
So the final property, I wanted to give you something in Puerto Vallarta, and I had to go with Hotel Musai. I think a lot of experienced agents have heard of it. It's one of the most beautiful properties in Puerto Vallarta. It has an amazing rooftop where you can get dinner, and they have a rooftop pool and get one of the most amazing pictures. It's actually, I think, on my Facebook page is my standard photo right now. I love it because it's super posh. It's adults only, but it has access to their sister property, Garza Blanca, which is family friendly. So you can pick those, or if you're staying with friends who have kids and you want to kind of go back and forth, you can do that. Also, if you're not staying there, but you just want to go there and have dinner, I definitely recommend it. So if your clients aren't staying there, but you want to give them a unique place to have dinner, have them eat dinner at the rooftop at Hotel Musai. And it's the only 5-diamond resort in Puerto Vallarta. There are several in Nuevo Vallarta, but this is the only one in Puerto Vallarta.
And can any of these properties be booked with our partner today, Delta Vacations?
Yeah, most of them can be booked through Delta Vacations.
Perfect. Now, explain this to me, because I have been to Puerto Vallarta and I have stayed in Nuevo Vallarta before. Is it kind of like, are they so distinct, almost like the Hawaiian Islands? Or is it really just different states, but they have the same feel? Is there something that distinguishes them between the 3?
They feel different to me. So Puerto Vallarta, that's your town, that's your city. If you want to be somewhere with lots of different restaurants and you want to be in a real city like Paris or San Francisco, right? Puerto Vallarta is a real city. It's not a resort town. So you really have to get outside the city to find the resorts. Now, Nuevo Vallarta is closer to the airport. It's not as that's like your resort area. Like there's tons of resorts all along Nuevo Vallarta. So that would be more like your Cancun, I guess I would say, with that hotel zone. That's what it feels like to me. And then Punta de Mita is a little bit more up and coming, and it's a little bit more secluded. And there's lots of little towns that you can do day trips to nearby that are really cool. Like, for example, my favorite it's called San Francisco. It's locally known as San Pancho, but it's just this secluded little town. It's like a couple blocks long, but it's just really nice. There's one next door to it called Sayulita, which a lot of people like, but it's bigger. It's a small little surfing town, but still it's a lot bigger, a lot more to do there. I don't know, right? These days I'm kind of feeling the seclusion, so I love San Francisco, also known as
You don't want to have a conversation anytime, anywhere with anyone?
I'm kind of like you guys, actually. Maybe people, that might be surprising. I'm the first one to show up at a party. Because if I show up at a party and there's already 50 people there, I don't know what to do. Like, I need to be the first one there so I can get to know people as they come in. I don't feel so overwhelmed with all these people.
I love it. I love it. Matt, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to see you back in just a moment for another segment, but we always appreciate your thoughts. And everyone that's on today, you'll notice that our producer put the names of the hotels and the locations in the chat box so you can write those down. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You know how to find me.
All right. We are so excited. It is the last week of March and it is time to do some more show me the money. I am going to be upset that I have to put these glasses away after this month. I'm sure you guys are as well. I've got them in other colors, so I'm hoping that I can incorporate other colors of glasses into future segments with you guys. But this is our final week and I am so excited. We have Corey Voss, who is Vice President of IT at Travel Leaders Network, along with Matt Wahlgren and Virginia Ann Buscemi from the education team. They are here to talk to us about Agent Profiler. Welcome, you guys. Hi, Corey. I'm gonna take my glasses off because it's very distracting to look at you like that.
Thanks for having me. Call back to your Buddy the Elf comment before. My favorite color is green, so this is perfect.
Yes, yes. So all month long, we've had the opportunity to talk to agents about ways they can make more money. And Agent Profiler, which is a tool that is available to agents who are part of Travel Leaders Network. Everyone has access to this. So do you mind kind of starting with just a general overview of what Agent Profiler is?
Yeah, really, Agent Profiler it's a lead generation tool that connects qualified customers, qualified consumers with expert travel advisors at a critical point in that consumer's trip planning journey. It's taking unique travel advisor profiles featuring, agent generated content, about their expertise. It's taking compelling travel stories and consumer ratings and reviews on those travel advisors and pairing those profiles that the advisors are building with consumers that are using our online travel agent marketplace on travelleaders.com and or consumers searching for a travel agent on Google. So it's really taking it's a gateway for advisors to really sell their expertise and talk about their passions, and it's a gateway to connecting them with consumers that are looking for help to plan a trip, and ultimately with the goal to grow their business and make them more money.
So do you have some tips for agents that are out there? I've gone through the process and there are a lot of boxes to fill in, but you use in your description, you use the word expert several times. What does it mean to be an expert in a field?
Yeah, it's well, I mean, expert can be open to interpretation, but as far as what we're trying to facilitate with Agent Profiler is, it's allowing an advisor to really talk about their passions and sell their passion, and that passion that they have for the type of travel that they're most familiar with, for give it or be it a destination, or if it's the sun and fun type experiences. The passion that we're pushing advisors to put into words in their agent profiles is what's going to position them as an expert when a consumer is looking through their profiles and looking for an expert in planning a trip that they're looking to take. So really, it's you can define expert in many different ways, but for me, it's it's positioning yourselves as the topic authority for a particular destination or type of travel, and you're doing that in speaking about why you love it so much. What is it? What are the sights and the sounds and the smells of that particular destination, that type of travel, and in speaking about your passions, it's going to come across, and it's going to strike a chord with the consumer that's looking to take that type of trip, because they're looking to go there, they're looking to do that, they have those same passions in mind, they want to have those same experiences. Long story short, that's kind of my take on expert and selling yourself as an expert with Agent Profiler.
Now, filling out that profile can be challenging. It's hard to write about yourself. Does Travel Leaders offer help when it comes to helping us get through that process?
We do have a whole host of videos and tutorials within the Travel Leaders Network training library, which you can access through AG Universe, and some user guides as well. At this time, we're not doing any writing for advisors, but we have a lot of material available within the TLN training library that advisors can access to walk them through how to do things. Gives them some pointers on what to include, and some one particular writing guide that I know we have posted and available in AG Universe to kind of ask some questions and gets the advisors thinking about how to position themselves, and some key questions to really consider in helping shape that content.
Awesome. Let's bring Virginia, Ann, and Matt into the conversation. Virginia, I know you have been using this tool for many years and had some not such great success to begin with, but you learned from that and were able to shift that into success. Can you share that with us?
Yes, it was a learning curve for me. Whenever I first set up my profile, I wanted to talk about everything that I was passionate about in selling. It was theme parks, especially Disney. It was Princess Cruises. It was Europe and river cruising. And what I found, I got leads that were people looking for the best price they could get to go to Disney World. So most of those did not work out. And I went back in, and it's important to know you can always go back in and tweak your profile. So I went back in and I did just a major overhaul. I focused in on Europe and river cruising. And then I got leads that were people who were interested in going to Europe. So it was more about what I was really trying to use the tool for. And got a couple of leads that were not necessarily river cruising, but they were FITs to Europe that I was able to work.
So you switched your profile to things that maybe you wanted to sell more and were more profitable. So
yeah.
Did you completely take the Disney piece off, or theme parks in general?
You know, I think I did, just so it wasn't so confusing. And to me, it's like any other kind of marketing. You need to target in on what you're trying to sell. And I was trying to sell to people who wanted to go to Europe, and especially people who wanted to go to Europe for a river cruise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Matt,
those, I mean,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna jump in and say, I mean, Virginia, that's a great point. You know, if you don't want to sell Disney, take it off your profile and really focus in on what you want to sell the most. Because the way I like to look at it is, if you have a profile built around what you're most passionate about, the destination, the type of travel, and built around the type of client you want to attract, you're really giving yourself the opportunity to cherry pick the type of client, the type of consumer that's going to reach out to you based on the content that you're writing. You're speaking to that type of consumer. So build it around, you know, focus all your content around the you know, the type of client and the type of trip you want to book, and that's the type of person that will connect with you. So it's cherry picking the type of consumer you're going to work with.
Well,
Yeah,
you
and
almost have to think that
that's
sorry,
the work in the pictures. Use
Exactly.
those.
Yep, exactly.
Matt, you have had some success as well. What do you attribute that to? Is it your profile?
Yeah, I've actually made thousands of dollars from Agent Profiler. And one of the keys are what they're saying is that niche. At least for Agent Profile, you got to really define it. So ask yourself if there's one thing that you could, if you could only sell one travel type of vacation in the world, what would it be? And then focus on that. And then the key is to update it a minimum every 6 months. Go back in, because you're not going to realize it, but you're going to be learning things over time. And when you go back and you read it again 6 months later, you're going to find, oh, I could add this. Oh, actually, I got my certification for this now. Oh, I'm specializing in river cruises. I just got certified with waterways, and I just went on a Viking river cruise. I should put that in there. That's going to hone in on, you know, what Corey was talking about, your expertise. But once you've got your profile all set up and ready to go and it's polished and looking great, the one thing you need to do, but you need to keep doing it, is send it to all your clients and ask them to review you, and then keep doing that. So what I do is when a client comes back from their trip, I ask them how everything went, and then I say, hey, well, the greatest compliment I can get, or kind of the tip for travel agents, is if you give me a great review. If you just take 5 minutes, send them that link. I've got over 50 reviews now, I think almost 60. I think I have the most, one of the most in my region. And so you just float to the top. And then also when people see you, they go, okay, well, this guy does Europe and this other person does Europe, but this person has 40 amazing reviews and this other one has 1. Who am I going to go with? I've even had other travel agents where someone reached out to them for a trip and they said, you know, I do Europe, but I don't do Greece. And I'm looking at this other guy, Matt Wahlgren, and he looks pretty good. You should call him. So it's kind of interesting that another travel advisor like referred me, and the person told me, hey, yeah, this other travel agent said to go to you, and I didn't even know him. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's Very cool. And he's clearly, that other travel advisor is clearly very comfortable in his skin to feel like he could do that, and that it's not threatening in any way.
Yeah.
What do you both believe? How do you show your expertise? Is it getting a certification, or is it the number of times you've been doing fam trips? What do you feel makes you an expert in that destination or type of travel?
For me, I study and I do the suppliers training. And then if I have the opportunity, I go, because there's nothing like actually being there. And whenever someone starts asking me questions about some place in Europe, and I can talk about being in that exact spot and where the subway was, or, there's this great little restaurant just right around the corner. It's those kind of things that come across as she may know something about what she's talking about.
Matt, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And to piggyback on that, I think the other thing is it's going to change over time. So once upon a time, when I first started, what could I do? I could get certified with all the different cruise lines, right? And that's all I had at that time. And maybe I had one, I've been on one cruise, and I didn't want to say that. I've also been on one cruise. It just doesn't sound right, but I can say I'm specialized in all these things. But as time's gone by, I can say I've been river cruising for over 5 years. I've been river cruising since 2015. I'm specialized in all these. I've been on river cruises in Peru, on the Danube, on the Yangtze, all these different places. So I think saying that, something that you also might do that I think is effective if you are new and you don't have as much experience as you'd like, is talk about your process. This is how I help you. This is what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get on the phone. We're going to do this. I'm going to present this. Just tell them your process and on how you help find the perfect vacation for your client. And that'll like seal something in for the leads as well. They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I like that process. I want to work with them.
Matt, that's such a good point that, we see leads, or inquiries, interactions come through Agent Profile all the time where, the consumer is saying, I know I need help. I've never worked with a travel agent before. How does this work? So if you can be upfront about what your process is within your profile, I think that's a great point to highlight, and you can kind of set their expectations before, and that's before they're even contacting you. Before you've ever talked to this person, you've set their expectations of what you're going to do with them for them. And it really, I think it helps set set the conversation off on the right foot when you do it that way. It's a great point.
Corey, is it refreshing as we're sitting here with two agents who use this product that you've worked hard on all these years? Is it refreshing to hear that they get it?
It is. It's really really refreshing. It's a good way to put it. I think it's one of those programs that you get out of it what you put into it, and you two have definitely put a lot of thought into it, and therefore you're getting value out of the program. So I think, yeah, it's absolutely refreshing. We know it's a very powerful program, and we know that it can help a lot of advisors build their business and also validate them online for other consumers that are searching for them. So yeah, very 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 exciting to hear the success stories for sure.
So agents, if you are on and you are part of KHM Travel Group, you have immediate access to this. You can reach out to agent support to find out how to get started. If you are outside of KHM Travel Group, you can reach out to travel leaders directly. Corey, what's the best way for them to kind of get more information if they are not within KHM?
If they're not within KHM and they're within Travelers Network, Agent Universe is a great resource for everyone to learn more about this program. Lots of information about all the background and the different steps and how to get involved, all within Agent Universe.
Great. And it takes time, but I think, wow, it might take time, but for those of you that have been struggling to start your business and needing free tools, not only free tools, but great free tools, this is a great place to start. It's going to take you time to kind of develop your profile, but sit down and start thinking about it. I love what you said, Matt. If I only had one place I could sell, what would it be?
And can I say one last thing?
Absolutely.
We talked about building credibility into your profile. Over time, the profile can be part of your credibility as well. Because what I do now that I have a lot of reviews, when I get a new client that finds me elsewhere, what do? I say, you want to know what my clients think of me? Click here. And I send them back to my agent profile where I have all these amazing reviews. So it can also be your credibility over time.
That's fantastic. Thank you all for being here today. Agents, I hope that you enjoyed this segment. This is a fantastic way to put more money in your pocket, gain clients, gain confidence from your clients with those travel reviews. So thank you all. Corey, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Gosh, you guys, like I have a profile, and I'm now encouraged to go and update my profile and start earning some clients in that way. We want to thank you all for being here today. Next month is family fun. That's our theme. Jackie Marks from Apple Leisure Group will be here. Richard Aquino from Allianz will be here. I know there's always so many questions about travel insurance, and so many questions, especially right now, about travel insurance. So we're going to touch on those. We've got Cayman Islands and so much more. So as a reminder, you do need to sign up again, register for that second quarter's worth of webinars. And the link is in the chat box. If you missed today's episode, you can join us on YouTube, or if you need to watch anything again, these episodes are now hosted on YouTube, which is super exciting. Next week, I will be live from the JW Marriott San Antonio Hill Country Resort. I have the hardest time at saying that. And spa. Be sure to tune in. See you all next week, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.